We often talk about how important it is to buy products that are eco-friendly, that are environmentally friendly. Most people would prefer that, but that's not necessarily the case. In 2010, Frito-Lay, the maker of Sun Chips, we all know Sun Chips, we love Sun Chips, they came out with a biodegradable bag. That sounds like a good idea, doesn't it? The problem was people hated the sound of the bag. Because it was biodegradable, it was kind of crunchy, and it made a very obnoxious noise when you opened it. And it was so obnoxious that people would put up videos on YouTube saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't hear you over the din of the Sun Chips." Now, according to an article in the Wall Street Journal titled "Sun Chips Bag Loses Its Crunch," in 2011, the sales went down 11%. So what did Sun Chips do? They reverted back to the non-biodegradable bag. So sound definitely can make a big difference in the customer experience. Today I want to do a review of a book called The Sonic Boom. It's by Joel Beckerman. I thought it was a very good book that he wrote. Joel Beckerman is best known for creating the Sonic logo, the AT&T Sonic logo that you hear, the one that goes boop, boop, boop. You probably heard that on commercials, you probably heard that on phones when you enter the AT&T store, you probably heard that. In the book, Joel Beckerman talks about how companies can use sound to create a sonic experience, to connect with the brand and tell emotional stories. I agree that sound can be used to create these emotional experiences. One of the things that he talks about in the book is Chili's, the restaurant that we've been to many times. They didn't create the sizzling fajitas, but they adopted the sizzling fajitas. And I don't know about you, but if I'm in a restaurant like Chili's or Acapulco and I hear those sizzling fajitas, it doesn't matter what's on the menu. All of a sudden, I want those sizzling fajitas. So that's an example of creating sound and connecting that with a brand and creating interest in your product. I thought there was an opportunity for the author to use more, just not in enterprises, but small business, to talk about that. Didn't do much of that. And there's an article in the Wall Street Journal called Small Businesses Use Audio to Build Their Brands. It's by Dennis Nishi. And in that, he talks about Frank & Oak, which is a Canadian retailer. And Frank & Oak is a men's retailer. They created a kind of a sonic techno vibe music. They worked with a DJ. And now when you go in there and you're picking out a tie, you're picking out a suit, now all of a sudden you're kind of bopping along. It was so popular that they took the music, put it up on SoundCloud, which is a hosted platform. It had over 100,000 likes and tons of people commenting on it. So that was an example of a music connecting that with a brand and a brand experience. I also thought there was an opportunity to talk about the misuses of sound. I read a book called Nazi Soundscapes by Carolyn Birdsall, in which she talked about how the Nazis would use sound to create a frenzy of excitement. One of the things that she talks about, this idea of affirmative resonance. What that means is, I'll give you an example. Just imagine the huge Nazi rallies when they were doing their songs and their chants. What they would do is they would place microphones throughout the area, and it would capture the noise, capture the music. It would be fed through the sound system, broadcast, and then picked up by the microphones again. And what that would do is it would create this experience, this frenzy, even more so than it was. And if you were kind of on the fence about, hey, do I join the Nazi party? All of a sudden, hey, everybody's doing it. I should do it too. After reading The Sonic Boom by Joel Beckerman, I came away with two realizations. One, as a consumer, I started to understand how companies are using sound. So when I walk into a retail store, I start listening and I say, hey, does that sound match the experience that they're trying to do? Does it or does it not? How does it make me feel? And then as a business executive, I understand the importance of sound in creating a sonic experience and a better customer experience. Madam Toastmaster.